We got that dusting the feathers off your keyboard. What is Pog?
Oh my god. People.
Get your share on.
I'm not even gonna tell you people to just share it because you already know. You already should.
Wow. Brennan, you're very authoritative today.
Sure. Let's go with that.
Just bossing me about.
We'll stick with that.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Right.
Ginger beer.
Okay. Well, then go get another ginger beer.
There we go. I just had to make sure the song repeated. I get it.
Yeah, we'll just continue going.
Yeah. That's how we do. Brenna, what is going on?
I did take a coronavirus test and I am negative. It was kind of a weird thing because they go through your nostrils. And I actually, a few days ago, had some nosebleeds in one of my nostrils. So I was like, don't do this one, don't do this one. And she's like, I have to do both. I'm like, because I'm just worried that like my nose will just start bleeding. But it did not. I am free of nosebleeds, and I am negative coronavirus. So well, I just want to tell people like it's okay to get the test. It's okay. It's not gonna kill you. It took less than 24 hours to get the results. You go online, you make your profile, you get an appointment, you walk in, give them your information, and then two minutes later you're out the door. Like they don't want you there. They just want your test. Get your test.
Happy days.
They can make you a clone.
Yeah. See, Brenna, you're not on trend though. You see, like you're president and commander in chief. He's got it. Sure, you want to be like him.
Yeah, just rip your mask off.
Oh my god! Did you see? Like he was multiple colors. Like I've never seen a human being. Like he was like ombre, right? He had this like light orange up here, and then it got a little darker, and then right at below his right at that cheek line, he just turned like pumpkin.
It's like someone run out of spray paint.
They had to use two different ones. Like somebody had to go to Sephora or something like that to get a new color for him.
I must admit, his video where he came back to the White House, I was expecting an Iron Man suit to come up on him when he took that mask off.
Yeah,
because that was the most ridiculous, stagey bullshit
stunt
ever.
That's a stunt if I've ever seen one.
That was like Kim Jong-un or something.
Yeah.
Look at me.
I mean, and that's the fear, right? That it's just going to be like this. Like he's going to be lying. He's been lying so badly, for so long that we don't even know what's true. We don't know what's false. We don't know if he's going to tell the truth. We just don't know this anymore. And his followers are just going to be like, yes, sir. Please, may I have some more?
It really has become religious with his followers. And there is no telling them. And it has become very cult-like. You come at them with facts and logic and they just dismiss it out of hand. And
that's a really good segue to what our topic is going to mainly be about. But first, we should probably introduce ourselves. I am Bretta. I am queen of this castle.
You didn't sound like an Alcoholics Anonymous.
Hi, Brenna.
Hi, Brenna.
Hello, and I'm okay. We are the Bin podcast, and I would like to go around and introduce our beautiful people that I get to spend at least a little bit of time every week wondering why I keep doing this.
Stockholm syndrome.
It is. Yeah. It is. I would like to say hello to Mikey. What in the world are you drinking today?
Today we got some Jim Beam Peach with some ginger beer. Gives the peach a little snap.
Yeah, there we go.
Whiskey warms the tum-tum.
Yes. Are you cold in Chicago over there?
It's like 3,000 degrees outside, and I was like, man, I was wondering. Really wish I washed my car today, but maybe after the show.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Mikey, for sharing. Wayne, what are you doing and what are you drinking?
Hello, I'm Wayne, normally known as Waymaker, but today I've gone under my actual name.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I know.
Who knew? Who knew?
Today I'm on the Merlot.
Yeah, you're still going with Merlot.
Oh, as us classy people over here say, Merlot.
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 Very nice. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. We've got to represent the UK somehow.
Can I cut in for 1 second? I have a very funny wine story.
No.
All right.
We are doing what I say.
Yes, ma'am.
You wanted me to do this? You could have had all full charge of this, but no, you wanted me to do this. All right.
I would have been done with the story, but go ahead.
Shut up. Cortez, how are you today? And what is do you have anything in your cup?
I mean, I'm just Ducky. This is just, classic American beverage.
Very nice. Very nice. And I am on my protein shake because I have been for the last week been on a very strict diet, which will go into a very nice, easier diet to handle. So I'm hangry.
Uh-oh.
And I desperately want a chicken.
This explains a lot.
You know what I'm going to do? I think an hour before the show, I'm going to send DoorDash over to her house with tacos and a margarita, and then we will have a kinder, nicer Brenna. It is. I think it's an investment. I think it's an investment.
Yeah. So
when she's sitting there with a belly full of tacos and the margarita, just like, you guys aren't half bad. I
was wrong about you. I love you guys.
You're just sitting there chilling with a massive blunt. Belly's full.
Everything's good, everybody.
I'm going to have to delete some of the internet accounts that I made about you guys.
Yeah, most of those hater users, that's me. I'm sorry. That's just me. I have to blow off some steam somehow.
Mob mentality, eh?
Yeah. All right. So let's start talking about the big I would like to say elephant in the room, but in this case this was a big fly in the room. Mikey, start us off.
So we're gonna talk about that good old VP debate. So I pulled up the transcript of the debate, and I pulled some of the questions, and because both candidates most of the time couldn't find a way to answer, we're gonna answer them. So I will start with Brenna.
What?
I can't do that lady's voice. What would a Biden administration do in January and February that a Trump administration wouldn't do? Would you impose new lockdowns for businesses and schools and hotspots? A federal mandate to wear masks? You have 2 minutes to respond without interruption.
Well, so living in California, I just want to say that our numbers are going down. But most of our country, at least most of those, let's say more on the conservative side states, are actually their numbers are going up. So the first thing I would do is probably do some sort of travel ban on anybody coming in to California. Now, for the rest of the country, I would be more doing a broader mask mandate and close some of those businesses or force them to reduce the business work that they do. I would also probably spray the White House with Lysol.
Can't find any.
And wait 2 weeks before anybody walks in there. So that's
hose
what I would do.
Hose it off. Just sitting out there with a
vote.
Nope, not yet.
Everybody vote. Everybody vote. I voted. Vote. I'm done. I'm done with you people. All right.
So that was a much better answer than well I don't want to say better answer than Harris, because Harris immediately called out the fact that the Trump administration knew in January, and in an effort not to alarm everybody, just sat on the information until it hit the states, and they sat on the information until it hit the states, and then it was spreading everywhere, and then they closed the border, and they said, "See, we saved hundreds of thousands of lives because we closed the border." It's like, well, no one would have called you a xenophobic piece of shit if you didn't have a track record of being a xenophobic piece of shit, and if you told us the seriousness of the disease in the first place. But Pence tried to use that as, yeah, we tried to close the border to China, but you guys called us racist. It's like, well, you are racist. First of all, let's not confuse that. You are a racist piece of shit.
Which is one of those things where it's like, we're not running for an office, so obviously what we can be more open about what we want to say, while running for a highest office like vice president, even governor, like, you have to be far more careful about what you say, because you're looking for a broader audience. I don't have an audience to vote for me. I don't care. I will happily tell Mike Pence, you are racist. It is racist, and people died because of that.
Yeah.
And you cannot go back on that fact. People died. We're like, this is what she should be saying, but we're not in her position, so we cannot be that. So yes,
what I found disappointing, for the record, I haven't seen the whole thing because it was on at silly o'clock in the morning. I've just watched bits and pieces online as the days progressed. And for me, what I was disappointed in was, I was expecting Kamala Harris to tear him a new one, and instead she treated this debate like a Sunday morning politics show, where she was given a question, she pivoted, went to something else, didn't answer the question that was asked directly. I mean, granted, they both did that, and I think that's down to the moderators. I mean, Chris Wallace tried to in the presidential debate, but I feel that there needs to be the ability to cut the mic and say, look, this is the question I asked. Do you want to answer it again? Do you want to try and answer it again and not go off on some tangent? If you don't, we'll move on.
Well, then let's take a pause here for a beat and talk about the moderation, because especially on the first debate, it was like, that was YouTube flat earther bad moderation. Like, it was just bad. There's no good way to spin it. Everybody's talking over each other. The audio quality is sounding like shit because there's so much crosstalk. No one's answering any fucking questions. It was just a fucking shit show. Like, that was damn near fucking Jeranism flat earther level ridiculousness. I think Jeranism has better manners. But it's this second debate, I think she tried, but there isn't something that's kind of woven into the fabric of these modern debates that gives the moderator the power to force people to answer the question, and only the question. So I would say, and I know I'm getting a bit long-winded here, but I would say that you don't get 2 minutes to respond to the question. You get to respond to the question, or I'm going to mark that down as a big red X fail.
Yeah. I think it's here is the question. Here is the framework of the question. If you stray from that, then sorry, no, that's a yellow card, or we move on to the next thing and actually state that you're confused to answer the question. Exactly that.
Just go up to his face.
Because the thing that really frustrates me about these kind of political arenas is that the whataboutism comes into it straight away, and it's always let's be clear. No, answer the fucking question. Let's not be clear. Answer the fucking question.
No need to be clear. Just answer.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think a lot of times what I felt very kind of funny about how Pence was trying to he was trying to attack Kamala on records and stuff, but he couldn't. He does not have that ability. He's trying to be Trump without actually knowing how to be Trump. He cannot attack her on he tried to attack her on her record, and she's like, sure, let's talk about it. Like he thought that if he was attacking her, that she would get flustered, but she's an attorney. She's a prosecutor. You cannot phase her. She knows how to react to that sort of attack.
Brenna, I was talking.
Yeah, shut up.
Talking. No, I was just making comment of her, her thing. She's, I was talking, and she's so nice.
But back to that, I don't know how many times I have to say this. The production of these debates are in full control of the background.
Yeah.
Somebody has a mute button. Somebody has a camera off button.
They've got hands on the faders. It just go.
That's not the problem. The problem is not whether or not they have the ability to. It's whether or not they have the desire to. And if somebody desires to cut off the vice president of the United States while he's talking shit on somebody, if they don't have the desire to do that.
I've got to push back on it, Brenna, because the terms and conditions of the debates are agreed by both parties. And if they say we don't want mics being muted, then it doesn't happen. It's the same as Kamala Harris said she was going to bring a screen if Mike Pence refused to bring a screen, but because of the blowback from Lindsey Graham's debate, they were like, "Oh, we can't ride this out. We're going to have perspex screens." So they have to agree on what the parameters of the debate are before they sign up for it. And this is why I'm so upset with the presidential debate prior, because they agreed to 2 minutes uninterrupted. Say what you say, and then Trump just jumped all over Biden.
Yeah, he just talked through the whole fucking every sentence. Yeah. He was like, "Nope, that's not true. Nope.
So,
well, what about you? Nope. It's like, dude, what the?
So the agreement should be that uninterrupted basically means the other person's mic should be off during that entire 2 minutes.
Yeah.
That should be part of it. Where that during those 2 minutes, that person has full capability of talking.
Yeah.
And then when it's the other person's 2 minutes, do the same thing. That it has to be equal.
Because what Trump did, he basically filibustered and was putting Biden off his stride. He's sitting there trying to give.
He wanted Joe Biden to get into a stutter to make him sound like an idiot.
Yeah. And then call him out for it.
And fucking Joe dumbass fucking bit. It didn't just raise his hand and point to the moderator like, "You gonna shut this guy up?" That's all he would have to do is like, "Yo, this guy over here, you deal with him. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's your job."
And looking at the debate from the outside in, I'm telling you, it's universal embarrassment.
And I'm kind of on this thing like if debates are really I understand the party debates, I can see that. You might need a little bit of understanding the difference between the candidates. But when it comes, we're such a divided country that a presidential debate or a vice presidential debate is not going to do much for people. And especially because the questions are ridiculous. If you're going to ask somebody a question, ask them an actual question. Yeah. So, Mikey, let's move on and let's ask a question and see about.
Number 2, let's go to Wayne.
I would like to answer a question.
Oh, yes.
I never get to talk anymore.
Yes.
We'll give this one to Cortez then, as he's just.
You guys never let me talk anymore.
give it Cortez. Come on. Right, victim over here.
Cortez, why is the U.S. This is why I don't talk, because Gracie's going wild over there. Why is the U.S. death toll as a percentage of our population higher than that of almost every other wealthy country? And you have 2 minutes to respond without interruption.
I believe that the U.S. death toll is higher than the other civilized countries because the U.S. refuses to listen when it comes to the advance of science, as well as doctors, healthcare workers, and those in the field. I think that Americans feel as if they're better than everyone else just by simply being Americans, and that somehow makes them immune to diseases. What? Your headphones are next to Destiny.
She didn't sign up for this.
I believe that once Americans decide that they are people in a world of people, and that just being American doesn't make them unique enough to not catch global diseases and or calamities or natural disasters, then the death toll would start to fall, as well as the amount of people getting sick. But I can't tell you the amount of people that I go to the grocery stores and I see every single day that aren't wearing masks, refuse to wear them, and say that it's a hoax by one political party on our side. If you were to ask me what we do, we'd all be better off taking stride and abiding by the scientific evidence that things require. I don't need the other 30 seconds, Mr. Wayne, moderator. I think I've done a pretty good job of saying what I needed to say without.
To be fair, Gracie owes you 30 seconds.
Right. and
they really don't need 2 minutes.
I am reclaiming my time.
Maxine! Auntie Maxine, don't play.
Auntie Maxine!
Neil, what up?
I agree.
Tartan, what up? Doing up?
Cortez, I agree with you, because before we started rolling, I said about how culturally similar we are as 2 nations, and there is American exceptionalism with no doubt, and there is the same over here with English exceptionalism or British exceptionalism. Well, we don't need to do that because we'll be all right. We're fine. We're British. We can just
have national health care.
Yeah, we do.
You don't have to worry about all this shit.
No, but it's just that arrogance. Oh, it won't happen to us.
Right.
Because we're English. It's never going to happen to us, so we don't need to wear masks. And there was a rally, not last week, the weekend before, of anti-mask wearers, and it's all led by David Icke's son, David Icke, the man who claimed to be Jesus.
Well, was he right?
No.
Better luck next time.
He's a terrible goalkeeper as well. But yeah, there's this cultural thing where we look at the news, and the news has now become like a parody of itself. We look at it as like an entertainment show, and that's why these sort of debates are framed the way that they are. They're trying to create the headline, whereas they're not trying to inform people, because they're not trying to get people to be informed now.
It's an information age. So the question is, why would I answer your question directly? And why would I give away myself, especially with the problems that I know that I would have, when I can just say whatever I want and have people eat it up? And it's going to make headlines.
There's no real benefit for being accurate and positive. Like, you can just be wrong and nasty and get just as much praise, if not more.
Yeah. I think it's like the media and the news especially, has become bait and switch in the sense of it's like, oh, look what this person said. Find out after the break. Sit here and watch all these adverts, get propagandized, and then when you come back, it's like, oh, was that it? So they're trying to make the sensationalist headlines to keep the eyeballs on the product, and it's not a genuine effort to inform people as to what is actually going on in the world. And I think that's where, especially like Fox News, because Fox News they call themselves Fox News, but whenever they get challenged, they turn around and say, no, we're entertainment. But you've got news in the title. So how can you have it both ways?
Yeah.
All you're trying to do is generate clicks and eyeballs on products to get people to buy shit that they don't need with money they can't afford to have.
You're not wrong.
Here,
Right.
I'm gonna show this comment because we're look at this. Oh, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Dan. Trump wasn't in the debate, man.
Yeah. I don't think anybody said anything about Trump all day yet.
He wasn't in the debate, so just make sure you're watching the right debate.
Have we even said his? That's the first time we said his name, isn't it?
Oh man. Yeah,
hey,
is he watching last week's show?
Rick, I don't think anybody said anything about Donald Trump.
You missed by 2 weeks. You just missed by 2 weeks.
Well, okay. Well, so he, thanks for cracking that egg. So, I can say this: you cracked the Donald Trump egg. We can go there. They asked the question about.
Wait. I have the questions on the side chat, and we're gonna go through the questions.
Yes.
All right. Deal.
Yeah.
Cortez.
Yep. We got a plan.
So we're gonna do question number 3, and then we're gonna hit that old sweet mid roll. Which is this question, which is do voters have a right to know more detailed health information about presidential candidates and especially about presidents, especially when they're facing some kind of challenge? And she asked this after referencing Trump's positive COVID test. Anybody want to grab this one? Because Kamala Harris had a really good answer that I agree with, and I'll give her answer. Wayne, hit it.
Yes, because what's the point in having a vice president if you don't need to deputize them when you are ill? It makes no sense. So Trump's a bit sicky poo-poos. Mike Pence might need to step in. Yeah, of course you need to know about that.
Well, this has been a thing that we've been talking about. I know I posted in our production room.
But you guys,
about the 25th Amendment.
You guys didn't answer the question, though. You guys are doing a them.
I mean, no.
You guys are doing a them.
I'm going to answer it.
Do voters have a
Amendment.
right? Do voters have a right? That's what the question is. Do voters have a right to know more detailed health information?
That's where I'm going with this.
Okay.
The answer is yes, they do.
Thank you.
The 25th Amendment is posed for the either president pro tempore or the actual inauguration of a new president should a sitting president become sick or ill. This is not including death because we all know what happens when the president dies. But this is for example, if you have a president that's sitting in, let's say that he's has degenerative brain disease, or he's got, for example, polio or something that would stop him from being able to complete his duties as president as we know it. I think that we've had quite a few presidents. Well, I believe Grover Cleveland was one of them, who was sick and someone else was running the country while everyone else thought that he was fine, and still the president. Continuing. That was better than that fly. Continuing with that, if the president, for example, is sick, and we know that COVID causes all types of issues when it comes to autoimmune diseases and immune deficiencies, as well as your body not being able to handle what's coming in from it. So, if for example, if Trump continues to get sicker, and things like remind you, we're dealing with a man in his mid-70s. We're not. Everyone keeps forgetting that we're dealing with senior citizens here. We're dealing with he's a septuagenarians. All right, we're not dealing with spring chickens. We're not dealing with 35-year-olds. We're not dealing with 45-year-old You know,
don't say the C
Catholic.
word. Our other counterpart is watching in the chat. Don't say the C word. You get
Okay,
them all excited.
I won't say that. But
May I interject? Because
one second.
Sorry, go on.
And we have to remember that there are laws in place, and the 25th Amendment has been talked about a lot, because if Pence decides that he's going to go and usurp the presidency this way, he'd have fair ground, because the COVID's an actual serious issue. Yeah, he'd have fair grounds to say that I'm invoking the 25th Amendment, and Congress would have to vote on it, of course, but they have the majority of Congress. You know, it's either you have a healthy president who's super, 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 super conservative, who, remember, as he said, he doesn't make any apologies for it. They would vote it. They would vote for it if that was the case. So it's one of those situations right now. Go for it, Mr. Lynch.
As someone who lives in a country where their dear leader did actually get COVID, was taken to hospital, was taken to intensive care, all of the country kept running because all of the infrastructure and the powers that be stepped in and all jumped up one. So he was deputized straight away. All his what's the word I'm looking for? All his duties were carried out by the deputies and by the different departments in accordance to the protocols. And everyone in Britain knew about it. The press were reporting on his condition, and we were constantly giving updates, and it was very, very transparent. And yeah, he got over it, and he's basically launched a campaign to tell everyone to lose weight, because he realised that he's a bit of a fat cunt, and that's why he got it a bit bad. So, and Boris Johnson is not exactly a shrinking violet when it comes to speaking his mind. And if he can come out and do that and forego his ego, I don't understand what the big cover-up is with Trump. Is it Trump? Is it the administration? Is it people just trying to save face? I don't understand why there was such a cover-up.
Well, our president has the good old boy nation behind him, and they don't believe anything that has to do with science or equality.
But does this not speak to that American exceptionalism we spoke about earlier?
Yeah, it does.
Certain parts of America, yeah.
And
it does.
Well, I also think it's this idea that Trump is the second coming kind of feeling, where he's
of the baby Jeebus.
He was placed there by God.
There's nothing wrong with him. He's perfect. He's wonderful. He'll get everything done.
A couple of IVs of Clorox.
What has happened is that when somebody such as, even back in the 2016 election, in which there was these challenges against his physical health, his mental health, that it ended up turning itself around. And this is what happens with these, I would like to say almost addicts. Like, these are addicts, right? They're addicted to whatever he says. They're addicted to the cult. It's the cult of personality, right? Junkies. Where they turned it around. So anytime it was, oh, Trump has a problem, Trump is sick, Trump, he looks sick, he's acting mentally unstable, this is not good for our country, it now switched over to, well, Hillary Clinton had the pneumonia and she's going to die. Like, it switched over to that, right? And this is happening again with it's well, if Trump is sick, then Joe Biden is mentally unstable, and which is not true. He has a stutter. It may sound like dementia, but it's a stutter. And he's old, so Trump is old, Joe Biden's old, so if Trump is sick, then Joe Biden's going to die. Like, it's this weird switch that this cult of personality does, is that instead of acknowledging the fact that somebody who is in charge of our nuclear codes could not be healthy and could be hospitalized during his administration, then it's then it just becomes, well, what about Joe Biden?
Yeah, it is.
He wears 8X
What about
clothes.
his?
What makes people think he's healthy?
It's
the illusion.
It's mental. It's this cult. It's this brainwashing that they've been going through. Is that it's not him, it's everybody else.
Well, here's my problem with him specifically. We've done so much in the world to stop bullying, to stop harassment, to continue with women's rights, and it's really annoying that you have an administration. I mean, this moves us back a little bit away from him, back towards our conversation about this, and that has two people. One of them is a complete goober. The other one is a right extremist and has no apologies for it. Where he can get on stage and answer questions, telling people what women should do with their bodies, telling people about...
Don't ruin other questions.
I won't. I'm just, just touching here. And then you have a president that on national stages, in debates, in speeches, hurls insults and derogatory terms and inflammatory things towards his opponents and people who dissent against him. In one sitting, he called an entire panel bastards, homos, lesbians, Mini Mike, crazy old Bernie, and I could continue going, but this is breaking my heart.
Oh, mate, you said Bernie. I thought you were talking about us.
No, it's breaking my heart that we have people that look up to somebody who demeans every person different than them and marginalizes everyone else's struggle. And they don't need this, they don't need that. We're gonna stop the stimulus, blah 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 blah. All this craziness, and you have enough nerve to talk about we created jobs? Where?
You're blending all the questions together. We got to go through the questions.
I know. I'm just mad.
Okay. Let me hop in here for a sec. So the question again, if everybody forgot, do voters have a right to know more detailed health information about presidential candidates? So she said yes. Yes, they do need to know more information, especially if people are getting sick from COVID and shit like that. That's important information to know based on the candidate's age. But also, she said, we also need to know about their financial records. And somebody has yet to turn over a tax return. So we need to know how much money. We need to know how much money they have and who, or even more importantly, who they fucking owe money to. Are they making wise fucking decisions? Like health and dementia is one thing, and that's something that a medical professional can look at. Like we already have the people lined up to take care of that. We also have a bunch of financial people that are.
We have to be careful about saying somebody cannot do their job based on medical or mental health, because we are not to just start saying that if you have some disease or that somehow you are incapable of performing tasks, because we live in a country where that is discrimination. What we need to do is whether or not his decisions are made for the American people or for himself. And that's the mental, physical part of it. People die. People get sick. We're not upset with that. But we need to make sure that what he is doing is mentally for the country and not mentally for himself.
I don't think the president should get a pass, because if any of us regular old Joes went to go get jobs in this country, they judge us based on that. So should he.
Brenna there with some very sage words. And Brenna, do you have some more sage words you'd like to share with our audience? Mid-roll.
All right. Well, as everybody knows, we are working on expanding our podcast to various other subsections, including myself.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to need support from. We'll talk about that later. So the best way to support us, not just by going onto our YouTube channel, the Bin Podcast, and subscribing, put the little notification, little bell on there, as well as sharing.
Thumbs up.
Big, yeah. Anything that you can do to help us, that's the free version of helping. And if you are willing to give a little bit, I know it's a little, some things are a little difficult times. There's a way, if you go to patreon.com/the bin podcast, and just, a dollar is great. $5 is even better. And $100 will get Jartan rushing onto the stream with feathers everywhere.
An explosion of feathers.
So if you want to see that, it's $100 a month.
No. Just once. Just once. You have
Just
to
do it
one.
one good time. One good one is all we need.
Just one. Just sign up for one, and then you can move down to not a freeloader or whatnot.
He'd be so fucked.
It would be awesome. Just like if we had 10 people just for 1 month, do $100.
Yeah, do $1 for the rest of the year. That's fine with us.
Yeah, exactly. Chickens everywhere.
So many chickens.
But, so let's thank our current Patreons, because it's still within the realm of saying each one of their names. Let's get to the point where we don't have to do this and just do the new subscribers. That's patreon.com/the bin podcast. We have Ryan, which is our latest.
He's new.
Our latest. And then we have Ricky, Miss Nana, David,
What?
Katarina, Stuart, Austin, Kristen, and Richard.
Whoop whoop.
So let's continue adding more to these Patreon patrons. By the way, Mikey, do we have a contact for anybody who wants to contact any of our shows?
You mean our Twitter?
We have Twitter. That's fantastic.
And we also have Facebook.
We have a Facebook. Go subscribe to our Facebook.
Yeah, follow us on Facebook, and then you could also hit us up on Instagram, The Bin Podcast.
Very nice.
We have a Twitch channel.
Very nice.
Twitch.tv/The Bin Podcast. Ricky.
And the rumors aren't true. I do not have an OnlyFans.
Not yet.
Give it a little while.
Yeah, his wrestling show is only going to be broadcast on Pornhub and OnlyFans. So, bring your billfolds if you want to see that wrestling show. Make it rain on them.
Get rain.
Make it wane.
Make it rain on them hoes.
Oh.
Yo, we gotta call it Make It Wane. Like you gotta have a segment called Make It Wane.
Yeah, make it wane.
And then you do the whole segment with a lisp.
And just greasy and shiny.
All glistening in the sunlight.
Our first episode is going to be called The Death of British Wrestling.
Yeah. It really is.
Anyway. Randolph. Randolph is here as well. Randolph, friend of the show. Oh, let me say hello to our friends. Let me say hello to our friends that are in the chat. Kiss me quick. Yep. Hello. Ricky. Hello. Kajartanan Mialkasin Mikalis.
That's got to be a troll.
Yeah, let me just block him real quick. Doorknob Head.
This is weird.
Doorknob Head, what up, boy?
If he doesn't have a profile picture, block him.
Exactly.
I block people without profile pictures.
Oh yeah.
Trolls.
We got our old buds standing by. So Thanks for showing up for another Thursday. Love y'all.
Mikey, I'm gonna throw question 4 at you, but can you just quickly read this because it doesn't seem to make sense to me in your head? Just don't read it like out loud. It seems a bit. Did you copy and paste that, or is that a typo?
It might be a typo, and I copied and pasted it.
Yeah, it's the first line. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Oh, she's probably referencing the sentence before it. Warned that could curb. Some economists warn that could curb entrepreneurial ventures that fuel growth and create jobs. But raising taxes for the recovery at risk. Yeah, they typed that up horribly. AI did not nail that one.
You got your questions from?
It was from the transcript, but I'm thinking they had the bot do it because it does not make English.
That's not a transcript.
Yeah.
That doesn't.
I was going to read that out to you because and put that question to you and give you 2 minutes to answer. But I was like, really? Is this some kind of pseudo English weirdness?
We call it the dyslexic stenographer.
Okay.
But stop, I think what they were.
Okay. I got the more of the question.
Okay.
So I think what happened was that this should say some economists warn that could, because it has to deal with the sentence above, like you said, Mikey. I just don't think that they typed because that is not common English. So this says Senator Harris.
It says botlish.
Okay.
Wow. Hangry Brother.
The Biden-Harris campaign has proposed new programs to boost the economy, and you would pay for the new spending by raising $4 trillion in taxes on wealthy individuals and corporations. Some economists warn that could curb entrepreneurial ventures that fuel growth and create jobs. Would raising taxes for the recovery at risk? That's and have you have 2 minutes interrupted. So basically would raising $4 trillion on wealthy people. So I think that they said more than. Is this
over 400K?
The Warren one, or is this a new one? Would raising taxes curb the
growth?
Curb the job loss? Okay.
So that could be answered a couple ways, and the easiest way to answer it is, no, it's not going to, because what's going to end up happening is when those rich people realize that they have to pay their people the appropriate amount of money, and they have to pay more taxes, their product is of a greater value. So if I know that somebody is hiring felons, if I know that someone is hiring people from lower economic places and bringing me a product that I desire, then I am more than willing to pay for that. And those people who are paying more in taxes will not miss as much because they will make more money. So yes, you're going to get your taxes raised, but I can't worry about the Warren Buffetts and the Donald Trumps, supposedly, allegedly, in the world who have all this money when they're not hurting for a dime. I don't care what happens to them. They can figure out shit just like everybody else does. So if everyone else can figure it out on $30,000 a year, I'm sure they'll be able to figure it out with $100,000 a year. So if they want to really empathize with the American public that is propping them up and supporting them with work, labor, and transportation and all the infrastructure things that help them even have a business in the fucking first place, if you want to support those people, you're going to chip in. If you don't want to chip in, the door is right there. And
very comprehensive answer, Mikey. Well done.
And I relinquish the rest of my time. I couldn't think of the word. I've never done it before.
We're 4 minutes over.
I'll claim this time and also like to add on to
I'll take that.
Mine. It's like taxes.
Everyone
it's like an
knows how I feel.
Mine?
Yeah, everybody knows how I feel about the billionaires. Everyone knows, and I've made this perfectly clear.
Do it, Wayne.
I don't think we need to have any. I don't think that if you can't spend that much money in 100 lifetimes, you can't give the money to everybody because you have more than enough to give everyone and make everyone rich on this planet. Which makes no fucking sense.
A lot of money.
That they have that much money and they don't want to pay taxes.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Cortez, you realise that the vast majority of the money that is in the system is just pure invention. Pure invention.
They have the money. That's what makes it so bad.
Yeah, but it's what I'm saying. Like, if you want to generate
not
money,
physical, of course.
No. 97% of all money is digital. 3% is on the last count. 3% is
only 3% is physical
money. Yeah. So that digital money, how did that come into being? It was just people in banks just saying, "You want to borrow some money? Okay, there you go."
That's pretty much how it works.
And
it's the nasty balance between, what's valuable and what isn't. And
but what makes me die is the fact that we create wealth in our jobs that we do, in the sense of we create a product or we participate in creating a product.
To them, they don't really care, and that's what it really comes down to.
Yeah, but we get compensated for our labour, yet that money gets created somewhere else, and it always just flows in one direction. So we're just sitting here scratching around for peanuts.
Yeah, it doesn't trickle down. It never does.
Never will.
And I'm going to say this as being part of multiple companies, witnessing companies, and then watching companies rise and fall. The people at the top are the ones that are getting anything.
Yeah, once somebody said prices only go one way.
Like, I can't go to a grocery store and say that this person is fairly compensated for how much they deal with every day, while they come in there. Like, you're letting random people come in off, especially right now. They're letting random people come in off the streets every day. People that not everyone's agreeing to the pandemic guidelines, and these people are in danger. And
what if we stop calling it taxes? What if we start calling it investment? Reinvestment in the country, reinvestment in the state, reinvestment in people. Like, because the word tax has been such beaten into these conservatives that taxes are bad, and yet what they're not understanding is how much taxes are actually helping them. Like, you may be paying them or trying to avoid paying them, and yet you're benefiting because we have a military that is based on taxes. We have clean air and water based on taxes. And understanding that that's what your taxes are going for. You are investing in your life, in living.
In your society that you are able to make your money in.
The majority
of people that are helping you make your money.
The majority of them don't see things that way. They still live in their super conservative ancient circles, and they pretend that even though the world has advanced, that it hasn't. If you guys remember the old stories of like Robin Hood and the Sheriff of Nottingham and all this stuff, you have these people and they're what are they, fiefs or whatever, the fiefdoms that they have. They're not kingdoms, but they're fiefdoms, and in their little spaces. So they tax the people and they get to live lavishly, and then so they're still associating the word tax with that, because that's not what taxes are anymore. Taxes aren't just because you live somewhere. You have to pay this dude money because he's in charge of it. Right. Taxes now are reinvested into the community in one way, shape, form, or another. That's the way they're designed.
We have to vote on whether or not we want to be taxed. Like, we here are voting on where our tax dollars go to.
Right.
It's clear where they're supposed to be going to. Now, if they are, I don't know. That's not where that's where our government is supposed to be looking and making sure our taxes are going to what we voted
100%.
on. And some places are not getting taxed enough, and then the people at the top who have those tax dollars are not putting it towards the things that they were told to. So that's where that corruption is. That's where corruption is. The corruption is not the people taxing. it's the way that they're using the tax dollars that they have.
They donated.
Exactly. So, case in point, one of our OC supervisors that happens to be running for Congress has actually used tax dollars that she got, for Orange County towards her campaign, which is illegal. What do you do about that? Well, somebody has to do it. And then now she's still in charge of things. And so she just changes the rules so that she doesn't get in trouble. Yeah.
Wayne hit it.
Brenna, you're right in the sense of we have been conditioned to listen to the word tax, and it's a dirty word.
Well, you guys are the reason why tax is a dirty word in America.
Yeah, own it.
I mean, the reason why the American colonies was
Brenna, we invented you. Just be welcome. Say thank you. Shut the fuck up. Right.
You watch your tongue, Wayne. You don't tell Brenna to shut the fuck up. You tell us boys that. You be respectful of the lady.
Buckingham Palace, motherfucker.
Yeah. Well, look, no. What I'm saying is, Brenna, you're absolutely right in what you say about the word taxes and the way that if we were to use semantics or linguistics, which the media do, when we want to get people outraged, we talk about taxes. We talk about taxpayer money funding certain projects, but at the same time, when we want to talk about taxes being spent on other things, they call it government spending.
Military.
Yeah, exactly. So the two are exactly the same, but linguistically and semantically.
Where do you think the government gets that money from?
There you go. But
they can't spend the money without taxing people. It's just the word tax gets it.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. If we were to use a different semantic term for tax, say for instance, like what you said, investment, it gives it a different feel. It gives it a different flavour. So if, like for instance, over here we pay national insurance to pay for our healthcare, right? And that doesn't sound like a tax. But when people talk about, I'm going to put income tax up by 1%, oh, it's outrageous. This is outrageous. When you say, oh, yeah, we're going to put national insurance contribution up by 1%, no one really gives a shit.
Right.
It's insurance. It says national insurance.
But it's insuring something. You are insured.
But it only takes us, 10 words to parse out the difference between tax and investment? Right. If people can't figure this out on their own, I don't know that it's going to get better, because the problem is, as much as people want to say that they want rugged individualism, and I have a guy who is more than willing to come on the show and talk about all that. He's all about this and he's all about that. And I'm like, but to drive on roads, mate.
Yeah.
But your food is safe because there's a government agency that is funded by taxpayer dollars to make sure that you're not eating poison.
Yeah. You are not dying.
I just grill it myself.
Yeah, you can't grill a can of beans. Like, that can is built to certain standards, which is regulated by the government so that everybody remains safe. Those beans are made sure that they're kept at a certain temperature and everything is copacetic so that you never get sick from food that you buy at the grocery store. Unless
That's another word. Regulation is a
they hate regulations, but regulations are the only thing that are keeping their bunker food from being poisonous.
And see that house that you live in, that is not falling down because you followed the what's that? Oh, regulations.
Regulations.
How it should be built.
Can we put it into Ebonics? The regulations.
Can I say this right now?
Them regulations
right now. Look. All of y'all rugged Wild West wannabes. It's not 1864. Okay, it is 2020. Get off your high horses. Because you don't have a horse, you're driving probably a Ford 250 or something, like 2,500, whatever. Get up off of it. You ain't no homesteader. You're not a rancher. None of that. Regulations, taxes, laws, infrastructure. Built this country to where you could go out and wear cowboy boots every day like you want to, even though you walk on pavement and flat ground.
With no grass, no mud.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I know those spurs be messing up the carpet in your truck, but it's okay.
Yeah, and that truck of yours, be grateful for that seatbelt and that airbag when you hit a cow.
Because somebody designed it in a college. Okay, now you have to think about the fact that we have to continue to move forward. Do you want me to tell you what annoys me with conservatives? They never want to move forward and progress with the rest of the country. It's annoying. We found out that this is what this is. No, that's not what that is. What do you mean it's not what it is? Yeah, my great-great-grandma told me that sunflowers are, the ancient people's way. No, shut up. No. Science.
Right.
It works.
Science,
Trust
bitches.
it.
Yeah.
Jesse Pinkman.
Yeah, it's science.
Biden made a really good point in his speech where he said some people want to hang on to a past that doesn't exist where we want to move to the future. And I thought that was really powerful.
It's true.
That's literally the difference between conservatism and progressive liberal. I mean, those are those words. Conservative means keeping things
The same.
the small and the same. While liberal progressive means things are going to change and things are going to move. And so that's why I can never, ever, ever be a conservative, because I do not view the world as something that needs to stay the same. I need it to move forward.
All right.
For my own sake.
What a great comment. And now we have entered the lightning round, in which you will not have 2 minutes to answer your questions. You will have 10 seconds. We will go in a counterclockwise fashion, starting with Brenna. The question is, do you believe, as the scientific community has concluded, that man-made climate change has made wildfires bigger, hotter, and more deadly? And it made hurricanes wetter, slower, and more damaging. Go.
You said, do I believe that the man-made climate change? Yes.
There we go. Wayne Lynch, question number 6. But if you look at the Biden-Harris campaign website, it describes the Green New Deal as a crucial framework. What exactly would be the stance of Biden-Harris administration towards the Green New Deal?
Investment in infrastructure that would benefit and decarbonize the economy.
Boom, there you go. Number 7, if Roe v. Wade is overturned, Cortez, this is you. What would you want Indiana to do? Would you want your home state to ban all abortions?
No.
All right, number 8. How will your administration protect Americans with pre-existing conditions and give access to affordable insurance in the Affordable Care Act?
That's you, Morky.
If it's struck down, pre-existing conditions are non-negotiable. If they have them, they stay. They stay in the ACA, and if private insurers don't want to be part of this, then they can fuck off. Number 9.
He also refused to call it the ACA. He only called it Obamacare.
Well, Obama's one of the Muslims.
Muslims.
I know.
All right.
This is for you.
Number 9. Let me pose the same question to you. In the case of Breonna Taylor, was justice done?
No.
There we go. Number 10, if your ticket wins and President Trump refuses to accept a peaceful transfer of power, what steps would you and Vice President Biden then take?
Tactical nuclear strike.
Oh, Jesus. We almost made it a whole show. We almost made it without some sort of...
we're just reaching for it.
Yeah. It was the luck of the draw because I didn't know it was going to end on Wayne. I didn't know Wayne was going to be the last one.
Oh, come on. I've got to do a comedy thing at the end there. Come on.
Yeah.
Do you want me to give him
I'm going to answer that one for him.
We'll let Wayne give his real answer.
Okay.
At the end of the day, it's just going to be a litigious nightmare.
No, it isn't.
No.
Yeah, it will be.
No, it isn't.
No.
No, you're not.
It is in the Constitution that
say that.
whether or not he agrees that there's a transfer of power, there is still transfer of power.
Okay.
Biden will get inaugurated.
Are you aware that the Republican Party are already launching legal cases in Arizona, Iowa, about mail-in ballots and excluding them?
It doesn't matter.
I think in Iowa, there's
that's not the question.
No, but what I'm saying, this is where the litigious bit comes in,
right?
Because
the question is whether or not he is going to leave the White House.
Let him answer, Brenna, and then you'll have. Then you'll know exactly how to spike his little volleyball of a comment straight into the sand.
Oh, I'm
Drop the mic
all
on
the way
this
back
bitch.
here, ready to just LeBron James. Spike it.
All right, go ahead, Wayne, but just know they are poison.
And I'm over here with a David Beckham free kick about to put it in the top 10, anyway.
Is he retired? Oh, he's retired.
David Beckham came over here.
And he sucks.
Oh yeah.
He sucks.
Oh yeah.
He's terrible.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Wow.
How is Mr. Posh these days?
but Mr. Posh.
Gray.
I love
Oh,
that.
the women
Driving
are
him getting driven crazy.
The women are probably fucking eating up that salt and pepper.
As far
Hanging out
Oh,
with
he's
Justin
so
Bieber.
good looking. Oh my god.
Brenna, I'm right here.
I wasn't talking about you.
Clearly.
Again.
Oh.
But Wayne, sorry, I tried to corral these.
You
I
know
this.
what, Mikey? Mikey, you can cut my mic if you want. I'm not.
No, we're gonna run it like CNN and fucking Fox News. We'll just let everybody talk over each other.
Go ahead, Wayne. Say what you gotta say.
No, let Mikey Wallace do what he's got to do.
How dare you?
Say it. Say it.
No, the thing is, what steps would you and Vice President Biden take? It's a case of you've got to do things within the legal framework. The thing is, the Trump administration and the Republican Party are right now doing their best to make this look the most corrupt, and not only that, most corrupt election, and not only that, they're making legal steps and filing lawsuits to try and stifle voters all across the country.
Yeah.
There was one even way.
Hold on, Cortez. Go ahead, Wayne.
There was even I don't know if you saw the Channel 4 news story about the Cambridge Analytica data that they got hold of, the Republican Party got hold of, to try and discourage African American voters away from voting in any way, shape, or form. Now, yeah, that might be within the rules, but it's not ethically right. And the problem you've got is you've got a guy who's already saying that it's going to be the most corrupt, it's going to be the most rigged, and everything. So you're going to have if he loses, there is going to be a non-peaceful transition of power. There will be his little cult followers out trying to disrupt absolutely everything. So what you've got to do is you've got to try and make it the most transparent election absolutely possible. That's the only way you can really do it.
So here's the thing, right? At the end of the day, the Supreme Court seat is important because it allows one of the highest judges in the nation to make decisions on serious issues like this. The next one would be, I'm going to tell you exactly, speaking from the know here.
Mm-hmm.
The military doesn't give a crap which one of those meat suits are the president. The military only knows that it's supposed to follow the Constitution. The Constitution says that once those ballots are turned in, whoever counts them, and Congress says, yeah, that's who won, that person gets inaugurated. Then Marine One shows up to the White House, lands on the White House lawn. The Secret Service literally pushes the sitting president, former president, out of the White House. Literally walks him into there, make sure he gets a Marine One. They take him from Marine One to Air Force Two and fly him to wherever the hell he's going. And well, now it used to be they never saw them again. But now what they do is all presidents and vice presidents are going to get Secret Service to the end of their lives now. But so they'll have some people that go with them.
6 months.
And those secondary Secret Service are going to be assigned to those people now. So that's what happens. So they say, okay, this person lives in Vermont, so to say. Okay, you live in Vermont now on the president's property. And that's pretty much what happens. If the Donald says, I'm not leaving the White House, he's going to get dragged out of the White House kicking and screaming.
He will. He'll get military guns pointed in his face because he is no longer the president.
So that's one thing.
And so when you are no longer the president, you do not have those protections of the president.
He doesn't understand it because he didn't pay attention in school.
Doorknob Head says the Secret Service better push with a 6 to 10 foot pole to avoid COVID. That's funny.
And that's a wrap, everybody.
You got a little sticks with it.
I like that. Let's end on that. Yeah. Lysol the fuck out of that place.
Again, tactical nuclear strike.
Let's burn it down and start all over. Build something nicer.
A bare minimum.
You know what?
Change the carpets. Change the carpets in the Oval Office because you know them.
The French tried to burn it down. Maybe that's the next best thing.
At least paint it black for once. Please.
There you go.
Can we get some like pinstripes? Can we pinstripe it?
Right. You know,
that'd be classy.
Let's wrap it.
Spinners on the windows.
In Prince purple.
Oh,
see,
there go Wayne. There go Wayne. We didn't say exhibit come in here and fucking fix the White House.
Right. Yeah. Snoop Dogg is not hanging out in the White House.
What are you talking about?
Yo, on every pillar, I got a flat screen TV that flips right up.
Right.
The Oval Office desk got a fish tank in it, bro.
Yeah, you put your button on the desk in the Oval Office, and it's
all the screens come down, lights come down from the ceiling, the DJ booth comes out.
The Resolute desk got neons now.
Oh my god!
I put a PS2 in the monster or the beast. The beast
open up Abraham Lincoln's drawer. Look what's in there.
So let's put a challenge out to our listeners right now. So when we log off, I want to know what would you want added to the White House if Exhibit was pimping the White House?
Oh my god!
What would you want?
I want
my challenge.
I want spinners on the beast. No, I want them to dunk. I want them to dunk out the beast.
Yeah,
I want
dunk out the beast.
I want 32-inch rims on the beast.
I want laser show every
on the beast.
Hey, speaking of the beast,
suspension.
Why did they get so mad when Obama got a CTS beast?
Swag. What the fuck? Like
they got upset when he got a new beast. Like,
wow.
Swag, man. People
they want him to use the same one that Bush was driving around in.
No, that motherfucker probably smelled like fucking Stetson cologne and fucking Marlboro Reds.
Isn't Air Force One 747?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Them fuckers been retired now. British Airways just retired the last two.
Let me explain this, Wayne, without making you feel uncomfortable.
Here we go.
Your country doesn't spend an eighth of the amount of money on aviation technology that ours does. So your 747s probably look like 1982. Our 747s look like 747s on the outside. Air Force One, on the other hand.
Do you know how Boeings are made?
Yeah. And I'm just trying to explain this, you know, we're not going to talk about you RAF assholes that are over there. Okay, you're getting me started.
Well, here we go. We're gonna.
You know what?
Chris follows him.
Oh, here now he's all fired up. Okay, so we're gonna end the show. We're gonna end the show. Thank you for everybody who stopped by to hang out with us on their Thursday afternoon. I know our time is not ideal for a lot of our viewers. Oh, here he comes.
No, we gotta wrap this up.
It's not ideal for a lot of our viewers, but because we are an international show, we have to try to meet as many timelines as possible. Thank you guys for joining us. Another quick cleaning up the show keeping notes. Starting January 1st. Hey, keep it down over there with your rustly ass jacket. Keep it down.
Cortez, can you take your large boy's jacket off, please?
Enough. I gotta finish wrapping this up so we can go. Brandon's got shit to do.
Respect the troops.
I hate you. January 1st, we will no longer be streaming live on Facebook because Facebook likes to take our money and doesn't like to promote our message.
Right.
So we're going to be moving over to YouTube and Twitch. That will be the main things. We got a lot of other shows coming in the works, so please go to patreon.com/thebinpodcast. Give us $1, couple dollars, $5 a month. Like, give us a cup of coffee a month. That would be nice. And that'll help us finance some of these new shows because we have 5 shows that will be blossoming out of the Bin Network. Soon to come on the horizon, but it's expensive to do all that stuff. So please help us out with easing some of the cost on that. And if anybody, I think everybody's done. Thank you so much. I'm Mikey. That's Brenna. That's Cortez. And that's Wayne. And from Jartan, who's probably knuckle deep in a chicken right now, this has been the Bin Podcast. See you later.
Bye, everybody.